Let me ask you something, and I want you to answer me with honesty, not with logic. Why is it that so many intelligent, capable, hardworking people still feel stuck? Why do people read books, watch motivational videos, attend seminars, and yet their life doesn't fundamentally change? It's not because they're lazy. It's not because they're stupid. It's definitely not because they lack opportunity. People fail because they are living from an identity that no longer serves them. You see, failure isn't a single event. Failure is a pattern, and patterns don't come from bad luck. They come from beliefs. Deep, unconscious beliefs about who you are, what you deserve, and what you think is actually possible for you. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. If deep down you believe people like me don't succeed, then your own nervous system will sabotage every single opportunity, even when success is right there in front of you. This is why you don't need more motivation. You need a new identity. Because the moment you decide, this is who I am now, your behavior changes automatically. Most people don't fail because they aim too high. They fail because they aim too vaguely. They say they want success, money, happiness, respect. That's not clarity, that's confusion. And confusion absolutely destroys power. Your mind works like a GPS. If you don't give it a clear, specific destination, it simply cannot guide you. That's why years disappear. That's why people wake up one day and say, "How did I even get here?" Borrowed dreams create borrowed energy. If your goals come from society, from family pressure, or from comparing yourself to others, your motivation will collapse the moment pain shows up. Because trust me, pain is guaranteed. Let me tell you the truth that nobody really likes to hear. Motivation comes after clarity, not before it. When you know what you want and why you want it badly enough, discipline becomes natural. But most people never decide. They just drift. And drifting feels safe until regret arrives. Now let's talk about fear. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is a signal. But most people let fear run their entire life. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of being judged, fear of looking stupid. So they wait. They prepare endlessly. They delay, and they call it being realistic. But let me be perfectly clear. Trying to avoid failure guarantees it. Every successful person you admire has failed. Publicly, painfully, and repeatedly. The difference? They didn't let failure define them. They used it as feedback. Think about it. A child learning to walk falls dozens of times. But as adults, we fall once and we think it means something profound about who we are. Fear doesn't disappear when you win. It disappears when you move through it. Confidence is built after you take action, not before it. You don't wait until you're ready. You act, and readiness follows. Now let's talk about the most dangerous addiction on earth. Comfort. It's so dangerous because it doesn't feel dangerous. Comfort looks like scrolling instead of studying, sleeping in instead of training, complaining instead of changing, watching others win instead of actually playing the game yourself. Comfort kills dreams quietly. The truth is, growth is uncomfortable, discipline is boring, consistency is repetitive, and that's exactly why most people fail. They want the results without the routines. They want success without sacrifice. They want progress without pain. But transformation demands standards. You don't need more willpower. You need non-negotiables. The moment you raise your standards, your habits change, your behavior changes, and your life changes. So ask yourself, what am I tolerating right now that is quietly destroying my future? Here's another hard truth. Most of us lie to ourselves. I'll start tomorrow. I just need more time. I'm waiting for the right moment. That's not logic speaking. That's fear wearing a mask. Progress begins with brutal honesty, and I don't mean self-hatred, I mean self-ownership. Because blame feels good for a moment, but it steals all of your power. The moment you blame your parents, your past, the system, the economy, or your country, you hand over control of your future. Ownership is heavy, I know, but it's also incredibly empowering. Ownership says, this is my life, and I decide what it becomes. You don't control everything that happens to you, but you control your response, and your response is your destiny. Another reason people fail? They underestimate time, and they overestimate talent. They expect massive results in just a few months for work that actually requires years. Success is boring before it becomes visible. The roots have to grow deep underground long before the tree appears. Most people quit during this invisible phase. They compare their Chapter 1 to someone else's Chapter 20, and they give up. Always remember, consistency beats intensity. Persistence beats brilliance. If you stay in the game long enough, learn deeply enough, and adjust intelligently, you will win. Not because you're special, but because you didn't quit. And let me say this as clearly as I can, your environment is stronger than your willpower. If you stay in the same environment, listening to the same people, consuming the same information, and tolerating the same low standards, you will get the same results. Guaranteed. Change your environment, and your behavior changes automatically. Success leaves clues, but failure leaves clues too. Choose what you surround yourself with wisely, because everything changes with a decision, not a wish, not a hope, a decision. A line in the sand where you finally say, I don't live like this anymore. That decision creates momentum. That momentum creates confidence. And that confidence creates results. Failure is not final, but quitting is. The day you commit to discipline, to growth, to truth, to higher standards, is the day failure loses its power over you. You are not broken. You are simply trained by habits that can be changed. And the moment you change the story you tell yourself, you change your life. Raise your standards, and your life will rise to meet them. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button and join our community. I'll see you in the next one.